All right, it is talk of the town. Daniel Jones and the Colts lead the NFL with 103 points through the first 3 weeks of the season. That's right. The number one scoring offense in the NFL is led by the New York Giants cast-off Daniel Jones. So have the Colts found their long-term solution at QB, or is this just lightning in the bottle? Derek Schultz, co-host of Query and Schultz podcast, joining us now for our unfiltered conversation. Derek, good to see you. Are you a believer in Jones, or do you think that we need a little more time to see where this goes?
I'm a sample size guy, Phil, and I need more than 3 games. But at the same time, I think I speak for all Colts people when I say that you wanted to be excited about something for so long here, because there's just been so much malaise around this franchise. So for this team to not only perform at this level, but to look this good doing it through the first 3 games, I think you can go ahead and let your expectations run wild, man. Daniel Jones for MVP, Colts for Super Bowl. let your mind run crazy. Go.
Why not? Why not, right? What has surprised you most, Eric, so far about his success in this early part of the season?
I think what's really surprised me, Phil, is that all of the things coming from New York that we were told, or if you watched him play with the Giants, that he struggled with, have been strengths for him so far with this offense. He was hurried several times last week in that game against Tennessee, and he faced that pressure. He stepped up in the pocket. He made that huge 17-yard scramble to save that touchdown drive early in the game in Nashville. He's making all the right reads. He's making all the right throws. He hasn't turned the ball over. He hasn't fumbled. He hasn't thrown an interception. He can throw downfield. He's taking the checkdowns when he needs to. He's running, as you said, the league's most efficient offense so far here. So 3 games, so far so good.
Why do you think that is, Derek? Do you think it's him, or do you think it's the teammates around him?
I think it's a combination of things. I think first and foremost, Phil, if you, I know you have a lot of New York football fans in your life, that Giants offensive line situation was not good during his time there. And I think coming here where it's much more solidified with Quentin Nelson and Braden Smith, and I think that has helped. I think it also helps linking him up with Shane Steichen. These are 2 guys that, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, are the biggest football nerds that you'll ever meet. They're very cerebral, right? They're smart. They're obsessed with the game. They prepare like crazy. And I think those 2 have had a lot of connective tissue here and are really vibing right now with the way that this offense is moving the football.
Okay, so you say you're a sample size guy, Derek, at the top here. At what point of the season, let's say this weekend goes well, we talk next week, are you all in on Daniel Jones, or are you still sampling?
I usually like to do 5 or 6 games, but I'll tell you what, Phil, the Rams, to just about everybody, are a Super Bowl contender. You're going to their place. You're making a cross-country trip to L.A. If the Colts can go out there and not only win, but look the way that they have in these first 3 games, I think I'm just going to go ahead and toss the sample thing right out the window.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, I like it. I'll hold you to it. We'll maybe chat again next week. Talk about the season so far without Daniel Jones, the other players, the rest of the team. What surprised you so much so far?
I think, and I wouldn't say this is a surprise because everyone knows that Jonathan Taylor is a special player, but I think you are seeing peak Jonathan Taylor. I think this is the best football he has ever played in his career now in year 6, because it's not just running. He's catching the ball out of the backfield. He's been fantastic in pass protection, which has always been a little bit of a bugaboo for him. So I think that has raised my eyebrows a little bit, and they're kind of hard to raise considering how large they are. And I also just like the way that the offense, sharing the ball. This receiver room a couple of years ago was pretty barren, and now Michael Pittman Jr., I know Alec Pierce is banged up, but still, you add Tyler Warren to that mix. A.D. Mitchell, I think, has shown some promise too. That looks like a really solid receiver room that has been completely made over the past few seasons.
I have the same eyebrow problem as well, by the way. Just putting that out there as everyone can see. Quickly, a minute left. Final question. Is this our guy?
Yeah, that one I'm going to wait on, Phil. That one I'm going to wait on because the contract extension and long term, I think you really need to cross your T's and dot your I's. But the fact that we're talking about that even being on the table and you not being laughed out of the room for asking that question shows how good Daniel Jones has been. I mean, we've seen it with Baker Mayfield, right? We saw it with Sam Darnold. We saw it with Geno Smith. Maybe this is just the latest in a long line of reclamation projects, and the Colts really cashed in here despite what everybody said this guy was.
Yeah, I agree. Fingers crossed on this one, Derek. Always good to see you, sir. Thanks so much for coming on. We will check back in with you throughout the season.
Appreciate it, pal. Thanks so much.
Thank you.